This is Sports Talk on TriadSportsCoverage.com.
Welcome to Bibbs Downtown in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, for tonight's edition of Sports Talk on TriadSportsCoverage.com. My name is Mike Pettaway, and I'm joined in the broadcast booth by Ellen Richardson.
Hey.
And producer. Congratulations.
Oh, that's right. Oh, congratulations.
Baby Aiden, is he driving a car yet, Donnie? Or is he playing? Is he dribbling a basketball yet? No job. There's a saying, all good things always come to an end. And tonight we're actually having our final sports talk show here at Bibbs Downtown.
It's so strange to come to an end. So it feels like it was just yesterday we got started.
I think.
Yeah.
So about a year and a half ago. And it's also ironic that our first guest on our very first show was Winston-Salem Christian School. And tonight, on our finale, we're going to have the basketball team from Winston-Salem Christian. But before we get too far into the show, I want to say that we appreciate the folks here at Bibbs Downtown.
Absolutely.
Robert and Mark and everyone that involved here, and Mike, who is the nighttime manager that does all the takes care of the details when we come in. We've had a great time doing our show. We're not really going away. We're just kind of going to take a step back and reevaluate what our goal is going to be over the next year or two. And we're still in the process of talking to the NCQMA racetrack in Salisbury about broadcasting their races starting in the spring. We are going to be broadcasting basketball games, Winston-Salem Christian School games, and Salem College basketball, which we've had a folks helping us. And I want to give a thanks out to Caleb Waters and Parker Southern, two young men who are college interns. Caleb is from North Carolina, a Tar Heel all the way. And Parker is UNC Greensboro. They're both communications/journalism majors, and they came in and did a handful of ball games on the Air Force and did a remarkable job. Very talented young men that they both hope someday to pursue that as a career, and I think they'll both be successful. And Parker may come back and do some games between now and the end of the year. We're kind of working his schedule. I know being a college student, you always remember your schoolwork comes first.
That's right.
And you play secondly, but we do appreciate what they did for us. But we talked about our guests tonight, and we are going to have some players from Winston-Salem Christian. The Lions is their nickname, and their high school basketball team is coached by Joey McKinney. And I started covering Winston-Salem Christian School about 3 years ago, and Coach McKinney was the middle school coach at the time also. And a lot of these kids that we see at the table were playing middle school basketball. I can remember when they were in 7th grade and 8th grade, and kids have a way of growing up and becoming nice young men after a while.
Exactly. It's a lot of these kids we've seen kind of from the younger ages all the way up to the elder, so it's really cool to see kind of how they've gone after their dream and continue to grow and continue to can't even get the word out tonight, to succeed. And hopefully, we'll be following them far into college and hopefully maybe even the NBA someday.
Well, there's definitely some talented basketball players on this team, and
absolutely. And
I've had the privilege of watching them play about 6 times, I think, this year, and they're currently on a 5-game winning streak, and they won some really big ball games. And for those out there that are looking for a nice entertainment for an evening, you should check Winston-Salem Christian School, check their basketball schedule. They play some very tough competition. Absolutely. As Coach McKinney says, we don't back down from anyone. We'll play anyone that wants to come play us. We're just trying to build a program, and he's been able to take a group of young men and mold them into a team. And I think it's really it's fun to watch how they perform on the court. And what's really great about this team is they really are team oriented. And when one player is having a down night, the other players pick them up, and it's really fun to watch. And we traveled out to Fayetteville this past weekend and broadcast a game against the New Life Christian Academy, and I want to give a shout out to that school in Fayetteville. Coach Carter, a very good coach. His kids were very well disciplined, well mannered. It was fun to watch two basketball teams of high school kids just play and love what they're doing.
Exactly.
And obviously somebody had to win, someone had to lose, but
Right.
they gave all they had, and it was fun to watch. And I think they're going to come back to Winston-Salem in 2 weeks on January 17th and play a game here in Winston-Salem against the Lions. So it's always good to see how other schools, how they run their programs, and for the most part, it's always with class and with great sportsmanship, which is what you like to see. And and obviously we broadcast for the Lions. We're the Lions Basketball Broadcasting Network, and we can be a little biased at times.
It's hard not to be when we just get so close to these teams. It's hard not to be somewhat biased.
And I was talking about how some of these kids played middle school, and I can remember some of these little kids, and you really do pull for them because you remember when they were just little tykes, running around trying to get the ball up to the hoop.
Exactly.
So it's fun to do what we do here at TriadSportsCoverage.com. We're kind of right now in a transition period. We are currently no longer covering public school athletics. We've chosen to do the Salem College sports for the winter and the spring, and then we're going to reevaluate the other options we have. We certainly intend to continue broadcasting. We were talking before the show with Coach McKinney. We're going to start a weekly show at Winston-Salem Christian School, and it's going to not only focus on basketball, but we're going to focus on the school, what the school has to offer academically, socially, and athletically, and we're going to give different people at the school a chance to come on and talk about what their school is all about and what are the advantages of a student coming to Winston-Salem Christian School. So we're going to do like a weekly talk show that it's going to be basically athletic oriented, but it could jump off into other areas of topics of discussion. So
don't let Mike get too far off a tangent. It might go forever.
but we're definitely looking forward to getting involved with that. And we're going to have some basketball players on in a few minutes. I think we're going to do. I know we have one player lined up first.
That's right.
And then we'll talk to him. And why don't we go ahead and take a short commercial because we do have to pay bills still.
That's right.
And when we come back, we're going to have Mr. Jordan Leak on the air. Jordan is a player. He's an injured player at Winston-Salem Christian, but he'll be our first guest when we come back.
Hi, this is Miranda McKinney, Athletic Director at Winston-Salem Christian School, and you're listening to TriadSportsCoverage.com.
Hey, it's Big E, and I'm here with the 2013 Barbecue Pitmasters Alabama champions Ricky Wayne and Pig Daddy of Bibbs Downtown. Gentlemen, what's it like being reality stars?
Hey, it's almost as good as Bibbs Ribs, baby.
We're not Eastern or Western, we're Western.
I'll tell you one thing, I never trust a skinny cook, and these guys got it going on.
Hey, you can bring your family in, or if you like Biggie, come on in on Friday and get your Bibbs fixed.
It's barbecue with a downtown vibe.
They've got dine-in, takeout, catering, and a private event space. Be sure to follow them on Twitter and Facebook, and you can always check them out at BibbsDowntown.com.
We're back here at Bibbs Downtown. The barbecue is not Eastern.
It's not Western.
It's Western.
I got it right this time.
We have our first guest on the air tonight, and it's Mr. Jordan Leak. Jordan, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
And, when I saw you play at the beginning of the season, I just knew you were a special player. And then all of a sudden, you had the unspeakable happen to you.
Yeah.
And we were actually broadcasting that game against Hickory, and I saw you on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, was it immediately you knew there was something serious wrong with you?
Well, went out for the rebound, and all I can remember is just me laying on the ground holding my ankle. And at that moment, I knew something was wrong because I've never felt that type of pain before.
So they came over, and I think your dad came over, who's an assistant coach, and Coach McKinney, and you went to the hospital that night.
Yeah.
And found out you had broken your ankle.
Yeah, I broke it in 2 places.
Wow. Now, are you going to reclassify and maybe play basketball again next year?
I decided to reclass and focus on school get my GPA up higher and play basketball again.
Wow. What are your once you get back on the court and play basketball, do you have any desire to play beyond the high school level?
I've been trying, looking at schools, seeing different topics and stuff.
And this is your first year coming over to Winston-Salem Christian. You came from Reagan.
Yep.
So did you know Coach McKinney when he was over at Reagan?
Yeah, I knew him.
And you still came and played for him?
Yep.
Well, coming to a small program like this, a startup program, how did you approach before you were injured? How did you approach practices and coming to the gymnasium different than when you were at a big school like Reagan?
Well, at Reagan, really don't want to talk about Reagan, but coming to Winston-Salem Christian School, I felt more wanted. So every time I was in the gym, I was ready to work, ready to do anything, and it's just a better place. I like it better than Reagan. And
sometimes bigger isn't always better. So you get a smaller environment, probably more personal attention, both from teachers and coaches.
Yep.
And I know you have a good fan following at Christian school. These parents show up and they make themselves known in the gymnasium during the ball games.
Yep.
And they make sure the referees don't make any mistakes. Now, I know you still come to the games and you're still supporting your teammates. But how tough is it to sit back there with a cast on and with the crutches and watching your teammates run up and down the floor, just knowing that you could be out there doing that?
It's tough, but I know that it's going to hold me back. So all I can do is just cheer them on.
Now, do you think being injured like this is going to make you maybe a better person, a stronger person? You've overcome some adversity, and all of a sudden when you are able to next year dribble that basketball and your eyes are going to just pop wide open because you're back on the floor, you're going to be probably more appreciative of the fact you can play basketball again.
Like being in the wheelchair and crutches, it gave me a whole another perspective of life. It was, at first, I took things for granted, walking every day, playing basketball, but ever since I've been hurt, it's taught me a lot.
Now, you're going to remember this when you are healthy again, right?
Yeah.
And reflect back on the fact that, as you say, when we're all healthy, we take a lot of things for granted.
Yep.
Playing basketball, I mean, everybody can play basketball well, not if you break your ankle.
Yep.
Exactly.
So you've learned probably an important lesson in life that nothing's going to be easy no matter what you try to do in the future. There's always going to be something that's going to try to get in your way.
Yep.
And I guess how you handle that will define what kind of person you are when you become an adult.
Yep.
How would you use that to actually influence these other players that are out there on the court?
Anything can happen at any time, so I just tell them to just play their hearts out like it's the last game.
Exactly. What got you into basketball?
Just ever since I was a little kid, like ever since birth, I've been playing.
Really?
Yeah.
What team did you start playing? Intramural league or something like that?
I started playing at the YMCA at the age of 5, I think.
Wow.
So yeah, I've been playing basketball all my life.
Is that something you want to continue in as a career?
Yeah, I would like to, but also like to cook.
Oh,
and
that's cool.
Do other stuff.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Did you learn how to cook from your mom?
Yep, mom and dad.
Yeah, gotta learn it from mama.
Now, how is it having your dad on the bench as an assistant coach? Does he? I talk to a lot of kids who their dads coach them, and the parents sometimes expect more out of their own kid. Do you sometimes get? I know your dad's pretty laid back. I never see him get too riled up, but is he? Does he push you pretty good?
Yeah, he pushes me hard. He's been my coach for a long time, ever since I was small. So I've been working with him for a while now, and I know what he wants and what I could do. I know what he wants.
Now, you've had a chance to watch the team play for a few games, and they won 5 games in a row.
Yep.
What is your assessment of how the kids are doing now? You've lost 3 players, and I get maybe 4 now that were on the team at the beginning of the year. How do you assess how they came together and how they're performing as a team?
I think after I hurt my ankle, they had like a eye-opening experience and brought the team closer together, and now they're working like a family and getting everything done.
I've been impressed with just how the team does play as a team. There are no individual showboaters. I mean, everybody plays hard.
Yep.
And, of course, you have to if Coach McKinney's on your sideline because he demands that.
Yep.
And I was talking earlier about how I've known him since he coached middle school basketball, and What impresses you about Coach McKinney? The fact that I know you're one of his players, but as a bystander watching games, I sometimes I observe things he does, and it's really amazing. Do you get that sense that he's really a basketball technician? He understands what he's talking about?
Yeah, he knows what he's talking about, like the offensive and defensive stuff. He knows what he's talking about, and he's a really good guy. He's just a nice person.
I know he loves basketball, and it shows. And what you're experiencing right now, you're building a program for the future. This is a new, basically a new team,
mm-hmm.
and in 5 or 10 years from now, when you look back, you can say that I was a part of the original, wherever they are at that time.
Yeah.
And I can see this school and this team becoming a force to be reckoned with around this part of the state. I think that's the kind of coach he is, and the kind of mentality he has is you bring it and we'll play you. It's kind of the way he looks at it.
Yep.
And that you guys never schedule the cupcakes on you want to play the best teams.
Yep.
And as a player, doesn't that really... It helps you as a player to know you're going against even some D1 recruits. You're out there battling elbow to elbow with them. That makes you better, I would assume, as a player. Now, looking at our roster, and I call it our roster because I've known these kids.
It's your roster.
But, yesterday or Saturday, for example, Jamal poured in 29 points.
Yep.
And we made a comment numerous times that Jamal's the kind of player that at any given time during a ball game, if he wants to, he can take over the game. He's that good of a player.
Yep.
And you can just tell by his moves and just the way he has a basketball sense about him. When you're out there playing with him, do you get that kind of a good feeling that, hey, man, he's a good player.
Yeah.
We're going to be okay?
Yeah, whenever I was stuck in a situation, we needed to score, I'll just give the ball to Jamal, and he'll pull it out.
One thing that I noted about Jamal Saturday, and I think you were sitting right in front of when Josh Hedges was on the floor, and he got confused and he traveled.
Oh, yeah.
And when he came over on the bench, the first person to grab him was Jamal. And he's pointing out, where the player should have broken for the pass, whatever. So Jamal's, his awareness and his presence goes beyond dunking the ball and shooting three-pointers. He's a coach on the floor.
Yeah.
And he knows the game. And I've been really impressed with how he's come from being about the only person that could score last year to letting the ball go this year.
Yep, being a team player.
And I think that's going to serve him well at the next level, knowing that he can dish the ball off, he can run the offense, he can do a lot of things.
Yep.
And I'm excited about the fact that you're going to be back next year, because I didn't get to see you play a whole lot, but I know when I saw you play, it was I could tell you were a gamer. I mean, you belonged on the floor. And the one game I was at, I think you were playing in, is the game that Coach got thrown out of the ball game. You remember that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Okay, I have to hear the story on this.
That was a good game.
That was just a lot of inconsistency in the referees, the way we'll put it.
Oh yeah, well that happens all the time.
And I think our crowd had more to do with him getting thrown out of the ball game than he did.
Oh
because,
my goodness!
A referee hears all these comments and they get tired of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I would not want to be a referee, no matter what you do.
Oh no! I'd be afraid to be a referee.
And these kids play fast-paced basketball. One thing about Coach McKinney, on defense and offense, if you want to play run and gun, come at it. We'll do it. We'll go toe-to-toe with you. So you're looking forward to getting your grade point average up.
Yep.
And when will you be back on the court to actually do some shooting around? And
I go back to the doctors January 14th to decide all that. And I think I'll be back in the summer. I think that would be the time that I could play, be cleared and stuff.
So you'll be playing summer ball, I'm sure, with Coach McKinney's team, I would imagine.
I don't think I'll be playing summer ball. I think I'll just be working out,
just
trying
working
to get
out.
my body healthy.
Yeah, getting it back up there.
Yeah.
Well, we certainly go ahead.
I'm sorry. What has basketball taught you as far as the sport goes?
Taught me to be patient. Told me I can't get everything that I want. Just got to be patient with everything.
All right, very cool.
Well, I want to say that, like I said, when I saw you play, I knew that you were a player, and I'm disappointed that you are not out there now. But things happen for a reason.
Yep.
That's right.
And you just have to take the bad with the good and turn it into something really good. And I'm excited about next year because I think I think what Coach McKinney started here this year is a nucleus of good ball players that will attract other ball players. And, you win ball games, people will notice who you are.
Yep.
And I think I know Joey, Coach McKinney speaks for proven that. We talk about, what kind of person are you when the spotlight is not on you. And all of a sudden, you're not on the floor anymore, but you're right there behind the bench, cheering for your team, being a part of the team. And to me, that shows a lot of character that will go a long ways in basketball and in life. So congratulations on just being a great young man, and we look forward to covering you next year.
Thank you.
Mr. Jordan Leak, we will take a short break, and we'll bring on another guest. Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you.
Today, community means more than the place you live. It's groups of people connected by shared interests and similar experiences. Your yoga class, your work colleagues, your book club. With all the communities in your life, shouldn't there be one for your financial life? We're First Community, financial experts here to work with you on your personal, business, investments, and insurance needs. That's the power of community.
We're back live at Bibbs Downtown in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We're talking basketball tonight with the Winston-Salem Christian School Lions, coached by Joey McKinney. And our first guest was Jordan Leak, and now we have two more basketball players. And for someone who is vertically challenged like I am, I look up to both of you guys. First, we have Madison Norwood and Jacob Brown. And we'll start with Jacob because, Jacob is also an announcer. He did college basketball last week, but was doing a girls' college game. And then he goes out Saturday and plays a great basketball game. And Jacob, I've seen you get really, really tough on the floor, get upset, and just really put your emotion into it. What does it take sometimes? Because I know when you're tall, sometimes people take for granted you're going to get every rebound, you're going to get everything under the board, but everybody out there is after you. I mean, they're going to knock you on the floor if they can. Do you just take so much of that, and all of a sudden this is going to be my space, and just get out of here?
Yeah, and plus Coach McKinney motivates me in practice, tells me to get the rebounds, and tells me to take shots, or I'm going to sit.
Now, you took a shot Saturday. You were going down the court by yourself, left-handed, and you missed a dunk. What did you think?
Jumped too early.
How did it feel to play the ball up there above the rim? I've never been up that high in the air.
It's great.
Now, you've had a pretty good season. I mean, you've had some really outstanding moments on the floor. I know that sometimes I think, from watching you play, I think the tougher the competition, the more it brings you out. Mm-hmm. And that's a good thing. I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying that when you play a good team, like you did well against Hickory Christian, you did well against Salem Baptist, and sometimes when you get a little bit of a lesser opponent, do you sometimes maybe feel like you tend to you should because you're not going to be going against a real great power forward or center? You just you can take care of things and not really putting a lot of effort into it.
Yeah, I think it getting in my head that they're a smaller team. They're not as strong. Mm-hmm. Just makes me want to relax a little bit.
But I'm sure the coach will tell you that you play every minute like it's your last minute. You go out and play hard.
Go 110%.
Now, we had talked earlier in the year about how you weren't always 6'10" or whatever, and you developed a nice little jump shot. And that's really a great weapon as far as being as tall as you are to drop out and drain a three-pointer or a short jumper. Does coach encourage you to do that when you get a chance to get open? Just go ahead and fire it away.
Oh yeah, he tells me every time I have an open shot to take it, whether it's a three, mid range, or anything. He tells me to shoot it. He won't be mad.
Madison, I've seen you get out there and just totally dominate the boards. What triggers you to? Sometimes I've seen you play a little soft. I'm sure your coach has said that, and all of a sudden you see something turn on inside your head that. I'm not going to take it anymore. What does it take to push you to that point where you're going to be aggressive and go out and grab rebounds?
Well, honestly, it's all self-motivation because, Coach is always hammering in the fact that we need to crack a lot of times I don't get easily motivated by other people. So, I mean, in order to listen to what Coach says, I have to make that decision that, all right, I'm going to go out here and do what I'm supposed to do and help my teammates win this game, pass them the ball after I get the rebound.
Now, you've played for Coach McKinney on his previous time coaching at Winston-Salem Christian, and he's a winning coach. I mean, he stresses a lot of fundamentals. He stresses defense. Like now, you guys are on a 5-game winning streak.
Mm-hmm.
How does that affect your practices and your attitudes, knowing that you're winning games? That's important. Does that make everybody happier at practice? Does it give you a little bit more momentum when you show up for a ball game?
Yes, I mean, it brings a real positive energy to our team because it lets us know we're doing something right to go out there and win 5 games. I mean, no matter the competition, that's an accomplishment for us to have buckled down together as a team and go out and execute so that we can win 5 in a row and hopefully 6 on our next game.
And you've played different types of teams, so you've played some really good teams and you beat them, and you've played some teams that you should win and you were able to keep your composure and win those games. But still, the secret, I guess, is putting the ball in the hoop and playing defense, no matter who your opponent is. Now, is practice fun for you? I know I've been to one of your practices.
We're talking about practice, man.
and Coach gets really he gets into it. I mean, it's all about hard work, isn't it?
Yes, sir. I mean, for me, as a guy that's a little bigger than most, it's harder for me to get up and down the court. But that's what's been the ride of it all. I know it's been hard, but it's been fun because I'm finally getting to a place where I'm conditioned and I have the fire to compete with the guys who are more conditioned than me. So, yeah, it's fun.
So what do you I think we asked Jordan what he got out of basketball. What's basketball taught you as a young man?
Honestly, discipline, and that's a very huge life lesson because there's an author that I was reading. He was talking about people of character. They discipline themselves. They don't need a disciplinarian. And so in basketball, like I was just talking, you have to make that decision to do what you're supposed to do, and it's really taught me how to persevere and be disciplined. And
going to a small school and a Christian school where the focus is a little different than if you were at a big public school.
Yes.
Does that kind of fit your personality well, that you think you're where you belong to be right now, being a student at Winston-Salem Christian?
Absolutely, because I get to connect with my teachers on a personal level and learn life lessons from them and such that I wouldn't be able to do at a public school because it's so course-driven and strict to a certain, curriculum that they fit just to feed you and then make you leave.
Now, you're a musician, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Is it drums you play? Or
drums and a few other instruments as well.
You play in a band at church? Or?
Yes, in 2 different churches I play.
So what's more fun, playing in the band or scoring double digits in a basketball game?
If I was honest with myself, then I'd have to say band, but it's getting to an equilibrium.
But you love music and you get a lot out of it, I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
How does being a basketball player and being a musician, what are the correlations? What do you take from each one to help each other?
The main thing,
discipline, I'm sure, is part of it too.
Yeah, I've just been learning to apply the work ethic of what I would put into music to the same thing I put in basketball, because my heart for music is honestly greater than basketball, but basketball's been rising ever since I came under Coach McKinney, and just starting to treat everything with the same attitude is what the correlation between the two has been for me.
I'm going to ask Jacob a question about, from my observation, which is usually on the sideline or at the end of the floor, I really think that Coach McKinney has really molded you guys into a team. I mean, it's a team atmosphere, and some of the things that I've seen you do as a team, I know you couldn't do as individuals, but how do you how have you been able to adjust to how Coach McKinney coaches and what he expects? And obviously the 5-game winning streak is a result of being a good team.
Yeah, and playing with him over the summer helped a lot, making us get closer as a team. Like, coming from different schools, transferring, like Trey, Josh, and the other 2, which we lost. But playing as a team over the summer just helps us so much, helps us become a family.
Now, I know you hate to put numbers up, but what would you personally call a successful season in your first year here at Winston-Salem Christian?
Like winning games?
Would it be a number of wins, or just the fact that you've put together a great team of young men and you've accomplished a whole lot?
Coming together as a team. I mean, it's not all about, yeah, we like to win, but family's better.
And that's the attitude you get from watching you folks. I mean, it's like one for all and all for one, and it's fun to watch what you do. And now, you don't usually start, so you're on the bench. Does that affect when he calls your name out for whatever reason? Are you ready to jump right out there and get going on a game?
Yes, sir. To execute myself, and so I get out there, and it's just amazing what you can do whenever you are bought into what's going on and are ready to help your teammates.
Well, we want to say good luck to you the rest of the year.
Thank you.
We'll be there rooting for you.
Thank you.
Hopefully we can keep this win streak going, but as long as you play well and give you 100%, that's all you can ask of anybody. So you play Community Baptist, I think, a week from Friday.
Yes, sir.
And someone said that's kind of a big game for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Have you played them earlier this year?
Yeah. At Oak level.
Played them twice.
Yeah, we beat them the first time, and they beat us the second. So they've got some very good players over there that are able to compete with our guards. They shoot the ball well, and they box out, so we want to match that intensity. Actually, we want to be above their intensity.
I was just say we've gotten a lot better.
Well, that's going to be fun to watch that. I think you probably enjoy more playing a good team because it makes you perform. I mean, you got to give your effort.
Makes you better.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for stopping by. Appreciate you coming over, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you, sir,
and
for
we'll
having
be
us.
seeing you at the basketball court.
All right.
It's Madison Norwood and Jacob Brown. We're going to take a short break and come back with two more players.
Is your business going to die alone? Never meet the customers of its dreams? Just sit on the couch crying into a carton of ice cream while other businesses are out there thriving? New Expression can help. Without the right marketing, you're a wallflower. Without a great website, you're not going to turn heads. And without social media, you don't even have a friend to tell people what a great personality you have. New Expression can give your business a total brand makeover and get you out there, attracting customers. It used to be about who had the biggest ad in the phone book. Today, customers hit the web to locate and research before they call. If Google isn't steering customers to your site or they're not impressed by what they see, you're missing out. New Expression does web design and can provide a free analysis to see how your site stacks up against the competition. Don't have time to constantly update social media? Want cool custom apps and graphics? New Expression can help there too. From print design to mobile marketing to online presence to brand identity, New Expression can help you express yourself. Find out more at nuexpression.com.
And the word is we're doing a basketball show tonight from Bibbs Downtown. Our producer is a big Kentucky Wildcat. Are you guys said Kentucky fight song? You're not Kentucky fans, are you, Burton?
I was at one point. I'm more of I can be a bandwagon at some points.
Oh, okay. We have twins, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Logan and Landon Burton.
Yes.
And I've seen you kids play ball for 2 or 3 years now, and I'm going to start with your brother because when I see him on the floor, I made a comment Saturday that you're like a blue collar type player. I mean, you eat more floor than anybody I've ever seen because the ball is yours. And you don't mind driving the baseline even though you may be a foot shorter than three guys standing in the paint.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just it's aggressive. It's not dirty, but it's aggressive play. You enjoy that, don't you?
Oh yeah. I love just being competitive. That's my spirit. I just love being out there and playing with heart.
And I know sometimes I think it was yesterday or Saturday when they made a call against you that clearly wasn't a good call. And do you sometimes those calls bother you, don't they? Just for a moment, then you got to kind of let them roll off your shoulder and get back to business.
Yeah, at some points I get really, really ticked off, but overall it's just a matter of me just being calm, staying steady, helping my team out with their attitudes and everything.
Now you've played against him, I'm sure, growing up.
Yeah, I have before.
So who's the best basketball player?
He's definitely a better basketball player.
Who wins all the fights when you were smaller?
Probably him, yeah.
Yeah, I would say me.
He was a little bigger back then, but now I got taller finally.
So you, I've also, when I see you out and play, I see that energy. It's always fun to watch a player come off the bench and right away he's into the game. So do you pay attention during the game, just waiting for Coach McKinney to holler your name out?
Yeah, I try to put 100% in every sport I do. So whether it's basketball or soccer, I may not be the best basketball player out there, but as soon as Coach calls me on, I'm putting 100% in. He tells me to shoot it, I'm going to shoot it. If he tells me to just not shoot, I'll pass the ball. I'll do whatever I can.
And that so much of being successful is your attitude about going out there. Like you say, you may not be the best player on the floor, but Coach McKinney's done some pretty cool things with players over the years, teams that they shouldn't beat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we always talk about practices that he runs you guys through. I know you run a lot.
Yeah.
Is that your least favorite thing about playing for Coach McKinney?
Yeah, with me it is, just because it's a lot of running.
But it pays off as far as being in condition for the ball game.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And, you guys have had, like we said earlier, the 5-game win streak. You've beaten a couple of really good ball clubs. I think really the highlight of my year so far is when you beat Hickory Christian.
Yeah.
Because there's a history there that all you kids from middle school on up have just really focused on playing Hickory Christian.
Yeah.
And then when we played Oak Level, that was kind of a one-sided ball game. But you've played all kinds of competition. This game Saturday against New Life Christian, which none of us knew anything about them, what was your assessment of how they came out and how they performed against?
I think New Life, they definitely surprised us at one point, because during their warm-ups I could see it. I would look over and I would see them, and they didn't look like they were hitting a lot of shots, and so I was like, okay, well, this will be, a fairly easy basketball game for us. And then they just surprised us with number 11. I think he came off the bench, and he was just a spark for them, and they just got on a run, and they were down by 2 at the halftime, I think.
Yeah.
So it definitely surprised us.
Yeah, they were a well-coached team, and number 11, I think he's actually a starter, but he wasn't starting because he missed a practice, I think his coach told me. But when he came out and started handling the ball down the court, you could tell he was there for real. So
yeah, definitely.
So you play Community Baptist your next ball game. You got almost 2 weeks now to prepare for them.
Yes.
You've played them twice. You beat them once. They beat you once. What are you going to have to do this time, Logan, to come out on top?
I think as a team, we just got to work as hard as we can and never give up. Last time, I feel like we may have given up, lost our mindset of victory. We started giving up in the sense that whenever they would dominate or score a point, we would just kind of be like, oh, they just scored, and you don't really think about it. You can't think about it. You got to go on to the next thing and always have that mindset of, I'm just going to work harder.
So do you get a kick out of playing real tough man-to-man defense, really getting in a guy's face and really creating havoc?
Yeah, I do.
Because, like a lot of these guys, these point guards bring the ball up the floor, and all of a sudden you're there just trying to disrupt whatever they're thinking about. And if you get too close, what happens? Referee blows the whistle.
Yeah.
And you say, wait a minute, that was not a foul.
Yeah.
Now, when you drive the baseline for the little floating jumper you got, most of the time I see you on the floor when the ball hits the rim. Is that, you don't mind going in there, do you?
No, I don't. Whatever helps the team. I just try to attack the rim as strong as possible, go up with intentions of, I'm going to get fouled. I'll know that, so I'll just go up and hope for the ball to go in the hoop.
Now, have you guys noticed? I made a comment a couple of times about how impressed I've been with the way the team has come together this year. You've overcome some adversity. You've had a couple, 3 players that were really good that are no longer on the floor with you, and you just come back and somebody else kind of takes up the slack, and you're not a one-dimensional team. Anybody can be a double-digit score anytime. The unselfishness is really does show on the offensive end of the floor, where nobody's trying to hog the ball and shoot the ball. You guys, is that kind of instilled in you by Coach McKinney that you run the offense, everybody gets their chances?
Yeah, definitely. I think at some points we could be too generous, and for some players, they just need to take the shot, and so we'll get onto them a couple times, and it'll be a good laugh. But overall, it's definitely like we just want to play as a team.
And a lot of people really picked up the slack, having lost KJ, Naziah, and Jordan recently. I feel like Sam Reeves has stepped up on the being a freshman and pulling in there and making so many shots. I feel like he's done a great job especially as a freshman. So.
Yeah.
So you won 5 in a row. Can we win 6?
Definitely.
We work hard enough.
Definitely.
It's all about working hard.
Well, we look forward to being there next Friday night. And I want to say it's been a pleasure to watch both of you play basketball and soccer.
Thank you.
And you're both good athletes. And your dad has a pretty good restaurant, too, by the way.
Yes. It is very, very good.
We've eaten there a couple of times, and he's always been nice to us. So
awesome.
We appreciate you guys coming on the show, and good luck to you. And we'll be there next Friday to maybe cheer you on another victory.
Thank you.
That's Landon and Logan Burton, the twins, and we're going to take another break and bring on 2 more players. Thank you, guys.
Hey, it's Biggie, and I'm here with the 2013 Barbecue Pitmasters Alabama champions, Ricky Wayne and Pig Daddy of Bibbs Downtown. Gentlemen, what's it like being reality stars?
Hey, it's almost as good as Bibbs Ribs, baby.
We're not Eastern or Western, we're Bestern.
I'll tell you one thing, I never trust a skinny cook, and these guys got it going on.
Hey, you can bring your family in, or if you like Biggie, come on in on Friday and get your Bibbs fixed.
It's barbecue with a downtown vibe.
They've got dine-in, takeout, catering, and a private event space. Be sure to follow them on Twitter and Facebook, and you can always check them out at BibbsDowntown.com.
We're having a great time here tonight at Bibbs with the Winston-Salem Christian Lions varsity basketball team under the coach Joey McKinney. We have 2 more players that have come on tonight, and Trey Dennis, I can remember him in middle school, setting the record for, was it free throws or assists?
Assist.
Big time award to be the all-time assist leader. And Josh Hedges. And Josh, we were doing the game Saturday, and I made a comment to the young man that was helping me broadcast the game that I really get up on my seat when you come on the floor, because I said I can guarantee you if there's a rebound to be had, Josh is going to get it.
Thank you, thanks.
And you went out there, and and he said that maybe part of it is because I told him you were a goalie in soccer.
Yeah.
That's why you got strong hands. Maybe that's why you can grab that ball away from everybody. So maybe that is helping you. I don't know.
Who knows?
But now you're not the tallest guy out there, but you get position. You also get pushed around a lot.
Yeah, I do. A lot of those guys are really big.
Yeah. But you enjoy getting those rebounds, don't you?
Yeah. It's a good feeling.
And Trey, you're the point guard all of a sudden.
Yeah.
We go from 4 point guards to 1. And now it's all on your shoulders. Now, the other day, one of the games you were sick, weren't you? I think you had a stomach flu or something.
I don't know what I had. It was like something that I was spreading throughout the team.
So you're okay now?
Yeah.
And you're ready to go? Now, this past weekend, the team that we played down in Fayetteville, I was asking the other players, how they thought that game went. I mean, you won by double digits, but that team gave you some fits there for a while. Is that something that you expect? I know we talk about your full court press. That's always kind of a staple of Joey McKinney's, but it seemed like that they were able to break that press easier than what I think I'm used to watching when you guys are pressing. What do you think was causing that?
Lack of depth because we were tired, and so getting spot to spot is you got to be quicker, and we're not as quick. Because usually when you have a larger rotation, you're able to go harder for 2 minutes, and then you could you're going to sub back in. But with a smaller team, you're going to have to take longer minutes. And you have to be more in shape, and getting to spot to spot is more difficult.
I want to ask you about some of the observations we made about a lot of you guys. Your passing is kind of lazy and nonchalant, and it gets slapped away a lot. Is that something that coaches recognize? You guys are working on that you can't just telegraph this pass and lob it over because the other team is going to come out and take it?
Yeah, they told us that in the last game because at first we were lobbing them over, and then we had to get more ball fakes into the game, and that's how they got some steals against us on Saturday.
And I noticed you've been driving down the lane a lot, too, and a little pull-up jumper, and usually you get hammered. You usually end up on the floor. But is that when do you make that decision whether to dish it off or just go ahead and go to the bucket?
Usually there's a bigger guy in the lane, so if there's a bigger guy, I probably won't go all the way into the lane, so I'll either pull up. But usually when I drive, multiple people come in, so there'd be a three-point shooter on the left or right or a big guy down low. So usually I'll come in and draw people in. You can just find easy dishes for driving kicks and drive again, or driving kick and jump shots.
Now, Josh, when you come in the game, like I said, it's exciting because you give everything you got when you're out there. Do you realize just how aggressive you play and how? I mean, it's a good thing. Is that your mentality to go out there and just really go after it?
Yeah. Well, I don't really. I mean, I don't play as much as I would like to, and that's kind of my fault. But when I go in there, I try to go as hard as I can. It's really hard to get those rebounds sometimes over the big guys. So kind of got to get aggressive.
But you make it look pretty easy because you always come down with them. I mean, it's really something to see that. Like I said, every time you're on the floor, if you look under the bucket, there's going to be a Josh Hedges rebound guaranteed. What position do you like playing on basketball? What's your most where you enjoy more?
I like playing down low at the forward. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, we talk a lot about the practices that you guys go through. Is that something that you love, going to practice and running up and down the floor?
Some days it's fun to go practice, scrimmage around with the team and get better. Some days it's just kind of, day after day after day. I mean, you still got to go get better and everything.
Now, you transferred in from another school.
Yeah.
Where did you go to school last year?
I went to Reagan High School. Yeah.
Well, that's a school here in Winston-Salem, I think, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, Paughtown.
Yeah.
So how have you adjusted to a much smaller environment, more individual attention, I suppose, than if you're at a big school? Does that kind of fit your personality?
I got my personality kind of fits everywhere, I guess, because I fit in with the big school, and it was real fun. But it was a lot different when you go to a smaller school because it's kind of tighter group of friends or your team. It's kind of like your team is just really close together and everything. It's just a lot different, smaller school.
Now, Trey, you went to Winston-Salem Christian, then you went to Reagan, then you decided to come back. Are you enjoying your time now at Winston-Salem Christian?
I'm enjoying it, but it's a lot different. The people there are different. The homework load is different. The whole school has changed from when I was there to now.
Is it pretty demanding school academically?
Oh, yeah. Homework load is ridiculous sometimes because you have at public school you only have 4 classes a day, so you only have homework for those 4 classes. Sometimes at our school you have 7 classes a day, 7 I think, and you probably have homework for 5 or 6 of them.
So it takes a lot of time management. When you play sports, you have to go to practice. So you got to be able to set aside time to do the homework. I know your mom and dad are going to make sure that comes first.
Yeah.
That's always important. What is your take on the? I've been making comments about how Joey has put together a wide variety of players from different backgrounds transferred in, but he's made them into a team. Do you guys realize that when you're playing that you guys really are a big unit that really pulls for each other?
Yeah, the more we talk to each other, because we talk to each other off the court every day, the closer we are really close off the court. So on the court, it's starting to develop a little bit more. So you get used to each other. You get to know each other's tendencies from just talking to each other so much off the court.
Now, how would you measure a successful season, not just in terms of wins, but, I mean, because I think just by watching how you guys compete, you're successful. I mean, you've turned a lot of eyes, I think, by being as good as you are as a unit.
I'll still say winning's a part of it, but going up and surprising people, because a lot of people didn't think we were supposed to be that good this year, even with the people coming in, people telling us not to transfer and everything. So I think proving everybody wrong and then playing against people that people don't think we should play against and beating them.
And that makes you guys better by playing a better team and making a statement that you are a basketball team and you are going to be competitive. And
yeah, we got to play with a chip on our shoulder mostly, because most people don't think we are that good of a team and that we're a bunch of rejects.
And it's so much so different than being rejects, because you guys are a great group of young men, first of all, and your basketball skill level is unbelievable. Now, do you, as you get into your high school career, do you have any ambition of playing in a college basketball environment someday?
If I got offered, I would go, but academically, I'm stronger than what I am athletically.
So what are you going to do with your life academically? What do you want to be?
I want to go pre-med and be an anesthesiologist.
You got to learn how to say that word if you're going to make a living with that. That's pretty impressive. Why don't you take some easier courses? My goodness, that's a lot of work, isn't it?
Yeah, I could graduate this year, to be honest, if I had to.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So you're a student first, which is what it's about. And Josh, what are you going to be when you grow up?
Really haven't decided yet. Kind of want to get my MBA in business.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about right now.
Well, I want to say that good luck to both of you, and thank you for coming down after you. I know you practiced before you came, didn't you? You're all tired.
Oh, we had film study.
Well, see, that was easy. But good luck to you the rest of the year, and we'll see you Friday night for the Community Baptist game.
All right.
Okay, Trey Dennis and Josh Hedges. Another break before we bring on some more players.
Today, community means more than the place you live. It's groups of people connected by shared interests and similar experiences. Your yoga class, your work colleagues, your book club. With all the communities in your life, shouldn't there be one for your financial life? We're First Community, financial experts here to work with you on your personal, business, investments, and insurance needs. That's the power of community.
And we are still talking basketball, and I just saw a young man hit a three-pointer before he walked in. Oh, that would have been Jamal DeShields. Welcome to the show, Mr. DeShields.
Thank you for having me.
And Robert Willard.
Hey.
Now, Robert has a broadcasting background, too. He helped do a middle school tournament. Was it last year, Robert, we did that?
Yeah, I think so.
It was like 8 ball games during the day on a Saturday, and
yeah,
we had a whole bunch of people talking. I'm going to talk to Jamal for a minute because I watched you play last year, and you're a great ball player. Honestly, you're really a great basketball player. But this year you've taken, I think, a different approach, and you just kind of fit into the team, and you still score your points. We made a comment broadcasting Saturday that you're the kind of ball player that can basically take over a ball game at any time that you want to, because you're that good. You know, depending on who you're playing. But like if we need 2 points, you can almost count on Jamal's going to take it to the hoop and get 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I asked you last year, you kind of enjoy that. It's not really a pressure, but you're important to the team and they depend on you. You enjoy that, I think, don't you?
Yeah, it's good to know that people depend on you in certain moments of the game.
And we've talked about how you can shoot 3-pointers, you can dunk the ball, you can rebound. And when you're out there dribbling beyond the circle and all of a sudden you just pull up and fire a 3-pointer, is that just out of habit? I mean, you don't plan that, you just do it?
Well, at Winston-Salem Prep, we had a drill where you would dribble down the court and just shoot from anywhere, and you had to make 5 in a row. And you had to do that every practice, so that's how it really helped me do it. And we'll have drills where we scrimmage and you take unexpected shots because you never know what you can get in the game.
What do you enjoy most about your game? I know you have a lot of highlight reel because you do a lot of great things, but what do you enjoy about the game that you add to the team?
I like where if a team sees that I'm scoring a lot of points, those tend to double team or triple team, and I can pass it off to a teammate knowing that they can score the ball too.
And I noticed too this year that I think you're almost like a coach on the floor because you help the younger players. I was talking about how you was talking to Josh Hedges when he traveled on the floor the other day, and you explained to him what was going on. And to me, I think that goes a long ways in the players respecting you, not just as a player but as a person, that you're not selfish. Because we know you can score 40 points a game. We know you can do a lot of things. But has it been as much fun in the adjustment? Were you able to make the adjustment knowing that this is going to be a team and we're going to win as a team?
Yeah, but it's also challenging because a lot of new players that we have and some of our freshmen, they tend to lose focus and don't remember everything. So it's like you get frustrated sometimes, but you know that they're learning, so you have to play through it and help them.
Because some of the mistakes they made, I'm sure you may have made at one time when you were first starting. So,
yeah.
So it all adds up. And Robert, you're kind of a role player that comes in and you play good defense. When you're on the bench watching these guys play, and you're waiting just for that call. But do you keep your mind in the game, and you know if Coach McKinney calls your name out, you know the circumstances of the ball game, you know what's going on?
Yeah, like when you're on the bench, you gotta keep your mind in the game and just know what the circumstances are. So like if a player has 2 fouls, you know that if they get one more foul and it's still in the first half, you're probably gonna have to go in for them. All this stuff.
Now, I was talking a little bit about the press Saturday, how the other team was able to break that press, and Trey gave an explanation. What do you think was causing the fact that they were able to get, just blow right through the press?
Our rotations were slow, and when he would get past the first level, the second level didn't pinch down either, so it was hard.
So you guys know what you did wrong, and you know how to correct it?
Yeah.
Now, that 2.5 hour, 3 hour bus ride, does that take a lot out of you? I mean, that's got to be a long ways to just sit in the bus and.
Well, I was asleep.
Yeah, I was asleep too. So.
Well, see, I was driving the car, and I wasn't really asleep, but I was in another world. But that was a long ways over there to play a basketball game.
Yeah.
Now, with the 5-game winning streak, and you've got a big game coming up. So what are you going to have to do to keep that streak alive, Jamal, when Community Baptist comes in? Because they've beaten you once this year.
Well, the main point that we would have to do is stop the guards from their dribble penetration, because that's what killed us when we played them the first time when they beat us. Well, the first 2 times. The guards got anywhere that they wanted to on the court, and we just can't let that happen.
Defense or man-to-man and try to stop them?
We'll probably play man-to-man, but it'll probably be up to our guards to stop them to make sure they don't get anywhere on the court that they want to get.
So they kind of took it where they wanted to, and that kind of created a problem for you. Did they have any big guys on that team that gave you any problem under the boards? Or?
Not really. It was just their guards did everything for them.
And Robert, when you are called on to go out and do some magical defensive plays, I know sometimes you play pretty aggressive defense. Do you enjoy getting in the guy's face and getting them rattled a little bit maybe?
Yeah. I like to take credit when I get a turnover and stuff like that. That's what I really like to do in basketball. So.
And really, when you're a member of a team, everybody has a role, and everybody's role is important. And does it make you feel good when you get so far ahead they bring you over to sit on the bench, or you want to be playing?
I need breaks sometime during the game.
You mean you get tired? Somebody as good as you gets tired on the floor? I know you do a lot under the boards, rebounding, and I know the other team sometimes they'll double team you to try to stop you. You hear people say, "Get on number 3, get on number 3," and like you say, that opens up other things for the team to do if they want to come and triple team you. Now, I've seen you make passes before that maybe due to a lack of experience, the kids aren't really ready for it. They don't understand, and I think that gets back to the younger players getting more court time and knowing that the ball can come from any angle and it's going to be coming at a pretty good pace. You got to have your hands ready to catch it.
And it's also fundamentals too. You can't somebody can't pass you the ball and you expect the ball to come straight to you. You have to meet the ball.
Right, you got it. And I noticed some of the passes that we've had knocked away lately, we tend to, first of all, we don't put a lot behind the ball, and then we tend to wait for it.
Yeah.
And a good which against a good ball team, that's going to hurt you on these breakaway layups where they steal the ball at midcourt. So those are all little things that you have to pay attention to. So we can win 6 in a row come next Friday, I think.
Yeah, we should.
Should be able to. Well, we'll be there, and I want to thank you for both for coming down. I know you're worn out from watching film. You'd probably rather be playing than watching film, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to play next level, I'm sure, college somewhere.
Yes.
Do you have any ideas yet? Anybody, any interest in what you're in having you come out and play for?
Well, I heard from Grambling State, Liberty, Fresno State, and DePaul. And I don't know where I'm going to go yet.
Well, I can guarantee if you go to Fresno State, I'm not going to watch you play. But if you go to Liberty, I might go watch you play. That's a long ways to Fresno State.
Yeah, it is.
But I think you're going to be a great contributor to whatever program you go to. You're a great young man, first of all, and I appreciate times. But it's fun watching you both, Robert. You're a great athlete. You're just it's just fun to watch you guys play. So good luck to you against Community Baptist, and we'll be there broadcasting, and hopefully we can bring home another win.
All right, thank you.
That was Jamal DeShields and Robert Willard. Jamal is the leading scorer for the Winston-Salem Lions. He's averaging over 20 points a game. And we're gonna take one break, and we're gonna have the coach come on the air.
Is your business going to die alone? Never meet the customers of its dreams? Just sit on the couch crying into a carton of ice cream while other businesses are out there thriving? New Expression can help. Without the right marketing, you're a wallflower. Without a great website, you're not going to turn heads. And without social media, you don't even have a friend to tell people what a great personality you have. New Expression can give your business a total brand makeover and get you out there, attracting customers. It used to be about who had the biggest ad in the phone book. Today, customers hit the web to locate and research before they call. If Google isn't steering customers to your site or they're not impressed by what they see, you're missing out. New Expression does web design and can provide a free analysis to see how your site stacks up against the competition. Don't have time to constantly update social media? Want cool custom apps and graphics? New Expression can help there too. From print design to mobile marketing to online presence to brand identity, New Expression can help you express yourself. Find out more at nuexpression.com.
And we're back talking basketball with the Winston-Salem Christian Lions. We have 3 freshmen here with me. We saved the best for last, I think, Coach. What do you think? And I've known, I've watched Jacob White play middle school basketball, and Mason, I've got more picture of you in the air with nothing touching the floor, because you're just an absolute, defense is unbelievable. It's fun to watch you play. And Mr. Reams, you were Athlete of the Week a couple weeks ago. So you came over to Winston-Salem Christian from Forsyth Country Day, is that right? How have you adjusted, and how have you liked the transition to the new school?
It's been a really easy transition. I love all my teammates have made it really easy, and it's just been super easy. I actually was homeschooled first.
Were you?
Yeah, so I came over from homeschool to here. That was a little bit tougher transition, because if I was at Forsyth Country Day, it would have been a little bit easier. But the teachers have always welcomed me, and all my friends, everybody at the school is so nice. So it's been a really easy transition.
Now, you've been getting a lot of playing time lately, and I know that one thing that you do is you hit 3-pointers. That's your expertise. But I've seen you get under the boards and kind of throw your weight around. And as a freshman, are you learning things about first of all, what the coach is expecting, and also the level of competition? Because you play some pretty good teams, you play against some good players, and they could care less who you are and where you came from. They're going to do their best to beat you. Are you learning a lot about what's expected here at the Lions basketball team?
Definitely. Coach has really helped me with this, though, because early on, like in that first tournament, I was playing really like a freshman, like really badly. But Coach told me, he got me into practice, and he said, I want you to shoot, and if you don't shoot it every time that you're open, I'm pulling you. And that really got through to me, because he said I could shoot, or I could watch people shoot from the bench.
Mm-hmm.
So I just try to do whatever will help the team win games, because that's really all it comes down to. It's all about the team.
Now, how important is it for you to hit your first shot? Does that get your rhythm and your momentum going that I'm on tonight? Because I've seen you struggle some games where you just can't make one, and sometimes you'll hit 3 or 4 in a row.
Yes. It is really important for me to hit my first shot. But if my first shot does not end up mistakes this season, definitely, where I could have passed it one more time, or I shouldn't have shot it, or I could have gone inside. But I'm learning.
And I guess knowing the coach wants you to shoot, and he's not going to yank you out if you shoot the ball, so it probably gives you a little bit more confidence that I just keep trying, and that's what he wants me to do. How does it feel to be announced as a starting player? I mean, a freshman, you're out there with some good ball players, and you started quite a few of the games lately. Does that probably gives you a lot of confidence and kind of boosts your morale a little bit about why you're doing all this?
It does. It boosts my morale a lot, and I just give God the glory. He's brought me to this point, and he's blessed me to do what I love, and I thank Coach a lot for giving me the opportunity, and I'm just trying to go out there and do what he would have me do and try to impress my teammates and play for them, because it's all a team game.
And, your team has won 5 games in a row. You got a big game coming up in 2 weeks. Once you start on a winning roll, I mean, you can win for a lot of games.
Yes. I really feel like we're starting to come together as a team. We're starting to learn each other's play styles, and we've bought into the offense very well. And Coach knows what he's doing, definitely. So that helps a lot, because these plays that we're running, they're working. And once we bought into it, it's really helping us win games.
And it's interesting to watch this team perform, and no matter what 5 are on the team, there's such a diversity of styles of play.
Definitely.
You've got Jamal, who's Mr. Everything.
Yeah.
And you've got Mason, who's just like glue all over you on defense.
Yes.
Then you've got Landon Burton, who's diving for the ball and driving the baseline. And you got you standing out there burning threes. I mean, it's not a one-faceted team. It's a lot of different weapons, a lot of different approaches to the game. And I know the coach supports all that, because in the long run, you all pull the same direction. That's what we're trying to do, is accomplish having a team play together.
Yeah, but all those different weapons definitely help, because if one game we need size, we have Madison, Jamal, and Jacob that can all go down in there and get rebounds. And then one game, if we need somebody else to step up, and because if they're double teaming Jamal, Landon can really step up. Jacob can really step up. We just have so many weapons, and with coaching and being able to know who to put in at the right time, that's why we've been able to put a little bit of a win streak together.
So you've enjoyed your time at Winston-Salem Christian, and I know it's been work because to play at the level of basketball that he expects, you guys have to work at practice, you have to listen, you have to be coached, and I'm sure you've enjoyed it.
Yes, I've enjoyed it. There's been some tough times, but Coach has always helped me through, and my teammates have always helped me through.
Now, Mr. Gore, when you get out on the floor to play basketball, do you turn up your motor some way? There's a young lady that plays at Salem College. Her name is Zy Henderson, and she reminds me of you because when she goes out there, there's a whole new level. I mean, she's in everything, and I see you as being a disruptor. When Coach calls you out there to play defense, you have a purpose, right?
Yes, sir. Coach Leak, he tells me when they need me to go out there that just to play defense, do what you do best.
But the other day I saw you drive the lane and try to go in amongst the trees and make a layup.
Coach has really told me not to do that as much as a freshman. When I get bigger, I can go and drive. But as for now, he wants me to take jump shots more.
How do you see the difference in playing at this high school varsity level versus when you played at the middle school level?
Well, now it's like harder because you got people that are way bigger than you, that stronger than you, faster than you. But middle school, you could do whatever you wanted, really.
And you guys play some really tough competition. You play some really big teams, and I think it's obviously in a middle school, like you say, it's a lot less competitive, and you can do a lot more things. But you still enjoy the game, and you're having fun.
Yes, sir.
Now, with the 5-game winning streak, it's been a team effort. Everybody's been doing their part. Can you continue that streak, you think, here next Friday?
I believe we can. As a team, it's helped us.
You've got when you lose some of your starting players, it does give an opportunity for kids like Samuel and other players that maybe would not have played as much. All of a sudden, they've been given the opportunity, and you've been getting a lot of playing time when you needed a special defensive stop on someone. And now, you also are one of these type of players that the coaches, I'm sure, talk to you about just you can't change what the referee's done, but you're so energetic and you're so involved in the play that when it doesn't go your way, it's like, wait a minute. Are you trying to work on that to where it's, it can't really affect how you play because while you're getting upset, the other team could be going down the floor and scoring a layup.
Yeah. I've been trying to work on that. It was not as bad until 8th grade, and then it just kind of grew more and more. Mm-hmm. I've got to calm down.
So you're just a freshman in high school. So you got 3 more years under Joey McKinney, probably.
Yes, sir.
And you're gonna stick it out and see how it all works out. Well, I'm gonna have one of you give a mic to Mr. Jacob White here. I want to give a word. That was Mason Gore. Thanks, Mason. And we're going to talk to Jacob White, who you also were a pretty good middle school basketball player. And now all of a sudden you're up in high school. How's that transition worked? I know you practice against your teammates, and they probably don't give you much of a break, do they? They'll knock you down if you get in the way.
Yeah.
There you go.
The transition was a lot harder than I expected, going to one level to another, but I made it work, and I'm on the team.
Now, you obviously, as a freshman, we've got 3 or 4 good freshmen, and you're looking down the road to playing a lot more, but are you learning a lot from your upperclassmen that have played varsity basketball before, and you watch how they do things? Are they helping teach you and get you groomed for the future of the team?
Yes, they do help me, in practice. They tell me to, fix my form, and they really just help me with certain things that I'm not the best at.
So what do you enjoy the most about basketball? I know it's hard work, but I know when you played middle school basketball, you were a real good player. And what do you enjoy about this being a varsity player? I know it's tough out there.
Yeah, just being on the court is really awesome, and I like the feeling of it. You know, I just like being out there.
Just being a part of the team. And now, how have you viewed this team this year? I've been making comments about how I've seen them come together and everybody does their part. Do you get that sense too that it is a team and really there's a lot of potential, a lot of things you guys are going to do?
Yeah, you know, at the beginning of the year, our team chemistry wasn't as great as it is now, and I think our team has really just came together and got a lot better at all the things that we do, and I think we have a really good high school team.
Well, I want to thank you guys for coming over, Sam and Jacob, and we'll be there next Friday night, and let's hope you can start making a few of those threes right off the bat and give the other team something to think about.
Sir. Thank you so much for coming to every one of our games.
We appreciate what you guys do, and we'll look forward to being there next week.
Sounds good.
That was Samuel Reams and Jacob White, and we're going to wrap up with Coach McKinney in just a minute.
Hey, it's Biggie, and I'm here with the 2013 Barbecue Pitmasters Alabama champions, Ricky Wayne and Pig Daddy of Bibbs Downtown. Gentlemen, what's it like being reality stars?
Hey, it's almost as good as Bibbs Ribs, baby.
We're not Eastern or Western. We're Western.
I'll tell you one thing, I never trust a skinny cook, and these guys got it going on.
Hey, you can bring your family in, or if you like Biggie, come on in on Friday and get your Bibbs fixed.
It's barbecue with a downtown vibe.
They've got dine-in, takeout, catering, and a private event space. Be sure to follow them on Twitter and Facebook, and you can always check them out at BibbsDowntown.com.
And we're going to talk some more basketball. Well, we're going to have Coach McKinney, but he has given his microphone over to Alex Kendall and Ken Leak, two of his assistants. And, of course, Mr. Leak is the father of Jordan Leak.
Yep.
And I want to say, first of all, you have an outstanding young man for a son.
Thank you.
He's very well-spoken, very, very polite. And I can understand why Coach McKinney says glowing things about him. He's a great young man.
Thank you. And
I wish him all the luck in the world. Get over that injury, get back out next year, and show everybody what he can do on the basketball floor.
Yeah, he's antsy. He's very antsy right now.
So, and he says you've been coaching him for, I guess, most of his life.
It's
been in part of it.
It's funny. The day he was born, he was premature, and my wife said, "Well, he's going to be a little kid." I said, "Yeah, but he's going to be a point guard." And I think since he was born, I've always told him, "You're a point guard. You're a point guard. You're going to be a point guard. You have no other choice. You're short. You're going to be a point guard." So, and the first movie he really watched was the Michael Jordan movie, Space Jam. He would wake up in the morning watching Space Jam, go to bed watching Space Jam. He knew every song, every
everybody get up. It's time to jam now.
All of that. Knew when to hold the ball like Michael Jordan at the end of the movie. And basketball has been his life. It really has. And, as a father, you want your kids to get coached the right way. Mm-hmm. And my wife has told me for the last 10 years, you need to stop coaching them. You need to stop coaching them. I've tried. I've actually tried. And he's the one who said, "I want you to be my coach." I've tried to back away from AAU and just be a parent, and next thing I know, I'm on the sideline coaching. So I've tried to back away and give him to other guys who I knew were good coaches, and he will always say, "Dad, I just want you there on the sideline." So when I got with Coach McKinney, I told him, I said, "I don't mind helping out. I just want to kind of be close by." And it was because I was feeding off of him. I watched him in their summer workouts, and the things he was doing, I knew it was not your regular high school coaching. This guy can coach. And I knew Jordan was in the right hands. And it got to the point I started getting a little contagious, and I wanted a little bit of it. So it's been probably the best experience. My wife and I, that was the best decision we ever made, was to get him first at Winston-Salem Christian School, then with Coach McKinney. So,
yeah, I've known Coach McKinney for like 4 or 5 years now, since he was doing middle school basketball, and I've always been impressed. I don't claim to be a basketball expert, but I know enough about the game that when I see a coach coaching the way you're supposed to coach it.
Right.
Because you see a lot of high schools that the coach is there because he's been told you're going to coach basketball or whatever. But he gets the most out of his players that you just don't know where he gets that from. But when he coached middle school, he'd put a team on the floor and they would dominate. And none of them were stars.
Right. It was a team.
But they bought into what he said we have to do. And 5 is better than 1. So go out there as a unit and play together.
That's right.
And he's taken that same philosophy to the high school level and building this program. But what he's starting now, we've talked a couple times about in 5 or 10 years when we look back at where you guys are going to be then and where we started.
Right.
And I think there's definitely a great potential for this school to offer student athletes a great place to grow and to enjoy the sport they love, get a great education, get a great upbringing, learn right from wrong, learn how to respect people. Mm-hmm. There's so much of that athletes miss out on. They learn the shooting part and the stick and ball part. They don't learn the other part.
The relationships.
And I think when you have coaches like you have at your school now where you generally care about every kid.
Exactly.
It's not how many points can you score for me. It's what kind of a person are you going to be. I talked to Dr. Wolf about how he wants the kids to make that uniform proud when they wear that on the court. Don't go out and make a fool of yourself and show up our school.
Right.
And that's important.
That's
that they learn
important.
that. And, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Coach McKinney because I bought into his philosophy 3-4 years ago. And I fell in love with how he coached and how he did things. And he's put together a great staff. I know you're very knowledgeable in basketball. Mm-hmm. And Mr. Kendall, Coach Kendall, Alex, who's actually done a ball game on the air with me, I think one girls' game you helped me do.
That's right.
But welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
And I consider you and Coach Tennant and Coach Leak a very great staff that helps Coach McKinney. And when you guys first started this year, Joey wasn't a stranger. He started the high school program years ago. But when you come together and you see players kind of falling in from different spokes around the rim, you don't know what the different backgrounds. What did you guys do to take all these personalities, all these different philosophies, and say, okay, let's all mold this into a team? How did he get that accomplished?
Yeah, I think we worked out a lot. We not only worked out a lot, but we spent a lot of time with the guys, even off the floor. Joey's really good with talking to players before the game. He likes to kind of sit in his office and he'll call players in. And then after practice, he gives these kids rides when they need them. He is not a stranger to any of their homes, taking them home, talking to their parents. So Joey just goes the next step in really making a personal connection with all of these kids. And as assistants, we just kind of fall in line with that. And you begin to really get to know the kids and love the kids. And then I have a great opportunity to be the dean of students at the school, and so I'm with them every day as well. So you fall in love with the kids as just the kids that they are, and then basketball just becomes something that you get to do together.
Coach Leak, is that success on the court, a large part of that is these kids buy into what you're saying, and first of all, they understand that you love them and care for them. So sometimes with that philosophy, which I know Coach McKinney stresses, that maybe that's how these kids who aren't really the best basketball players in the world, if you took them one at a time, went out. Mm-hmm. But they all know that there's 4 coaches sitting on the bench that will go to the end of the world for them.
Yeah.
And they'll do things that they really don't think they're capable of doing.
I totally agree with you. This summer started the building blocks. And I think the first couple of workouts, the guys didn't really understand what was happening. It took them up until roughly we played in the preseason tournament. And they saw some of the things that we have been working on all summer. They saw some of those things work. And you could see it in their eyes. We won a couple of games at the tournament, and they played some good quality teams. Mm-hmm. And I think from the beginning, they were kind of leery on, okay, we don't know who we are. we hadn't had the experience that some of these other schools that we were playing against. We didn't have all of that because we were a bunch of kids coming together now, trying to become a team. But after they saw some of those things work, and we pulled off a couple of upsets at that tournament, the kids actually started looking at each other like, we might have something.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we lost a couple of players, and then when Jordan went down, I think it brought them together better, because over the last 5 or 6 games, they're playing at a high level now. I've seen a lot of high school basketball. Right now, I go out on a limb and say we're probably one of the top 5 basketball teams in the county. We're right there with anyone else. We can compete with anyone else right now. And to have the kids that we have, and to say that, it all goes to, one, their buy-in, their hard work. They've put in some hard work. They don't understand how hard they've worked, but they've put in a lot of hard work. And they're just a machine now. He just puts the key in the ignition and crank it up, and they're driving. They're driving it, but they have no clue that they're driving now, because they've gotten so used to working hard that it's paying off. So the philosophy, the teamwork that we have as coaches, and the communication that we're having with these guys, it's immaculate. And we're a building block right now, because like you said, in 5 years, we will be one of the top basketball educated schools in this state. I guarantee. The leadership from the school, the support from the parents, and the kids working hard, we have no other choice but to go up. And we're rising now, very quietly, but we're rising. So I'm with you. In 5 years, we're going to be top. We're going to be the top.
You're going to have a target on your back everywhere you go.
We love it. Love it.
Because there's some teams in the county that they're good. A lot of them think they're good. A lot of them will tell you they're good.
Right.
And they show it on the court.
Right.
But there's not been a new baby in the county for a long
years.
time. And all of a sudden, you start something and you do it the right way, which is the key, I think, is if you're going to build a program for long term, do it the right way from the very first moment. And then it's just going to snowball, and you're going to have, what you guys are building is, if we look at it in 5 to 10 years, wow.
Yeah.
I think.
I agree
Because you've got the administration wanting to do this, you got the school, everybody's behind it. He's got quality people around. See, I always say a good leader surrounds himself with good people, and that's what he's gone out and got good coaches.
Yep.
And his teams are a reflection of Joey McKinney. From his 8th grade teams to now. I can tell when he's coaching a team, I can close my eyes and just know that he's coaching a team because of how they perform.
Yep.
And you've seen him for years, Coach Alex, and he just.
But what people don't know is Joey's actually my son.
He's your son.
Ken's son Jordan plays for our team, and my son Joey coaches the team. I'm really proud of him. I can't say enough about just the progress he's made.
So it's all about just you guys take that family deal a little bit serious, don't you?
We do.
We do. No, I'm just playing. I'm not Joey's dad. But I love working for Joey. And just to piggyback off what he was saying, that you're welcome, son. I'm proud of you. Is that we are poised and positioned not to be a flash in the pan.
Right.
And I think that's a very and there's a way we could. There are programs around the country that will emerge instantly out of obscurity in ways and tactics that aren't ethical. They're not even good for the kid. They're not good for the school either. And what I love about our program and also being an educator is we're having really good success on the basketball floor, but we're having great success away from the basketball floor. In every area, between personal development with the players, academics with high school is up and down. Not everybody's going to be straight A students, and that's okay. You're just looking for character, and so we are becoming a very good program. But we're also producing a really, really good kid at the end of the day, and being able to walk with that kid and sustaining ourselves and putting ourselves in a spot where we're going to be able to do this for a long time.
Well, I think you've got a great thing started. I think, I appreciate you letting us be a small part of it. We've certainly enjoyed our relationship with the school the last 3-4 years, and it's been really an eye-opening experience, and to watch like some of these kids that I saw in middle school, and to see them become young men and to play at the varsity level. But their attitude hasn't changed. Their want to hasn't changed. Their desire hasn't changed. It's like they were molded at a young age by someone like Coach McKinney, and they carry that same walk with them through the high school ranks. Mm-hmm. And and like you said, a lot of teams will rise up, but can they be proud when they get there?
Yeah.
Can they look at themselves in the mirror and say, we did it the right way? And I think that's what's going to be a little bit unique about this program, is that you're never going to look back and say, I wish we'd done something different. You're doing it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
You're making sure that the priority is producing nice young men.
Mm-hmm.
And the basketball is just an avenue to get them to that point, maybe.
Yeah.
And academics is very important. They're student athletes.
Yeah.
And I think your school stresses that. And it's refreshing to see how these young men, how they act around other people.
Yeah.
You go to an away game and you see how the kids walk through the gym. Are they drawing attention to themselves? No.
Mm-hmm.
They're there because they're a unit, and they're going to do everything together.
Yep. Yeah.
And as someone who, even if I'm broadcasting or taking pictures, I observe a lot of things that go on the bench, on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And you take those things away, and that's what defines your program to me.
Yeah.
It's not that you're 10-5 or you're going to be whatever. It's like you guys are the same today as you were 3 weeks ago, and 4 weeks from now, you're doing it the right way.
Yeah, it's character.
Yep.
And I commend you guys for doing that. And I do want to talk a little bit to Coach McKinney.
Absolutely.
Because, even though he has very little to do with what we're doing, it's, even Bear Bryant got on TV a few times.
That's right. Me and Coach Leak have been just really working with Coach Joey about, just Joey, the ball has to go through the hoop, and then we get points for that. So he's starting to put the dots together.
Yeah, he's starting to understand
and tell them that
offense.
You don't want to have the guys turn their back to the player when they're guarding them.
Right. Right. He has this new philosophy. It's great. Just for any coach listening, it's called man defense. It's a really good defense. Just try it. It's brand new by Coach McKinney. Just give it a shot.
Yep.
Man defense.
Well, let's get a word here with the man. Thank you, Coach Leak, and thank you, Coach Kendall. We appreciate it. And we'll see you in a week from Friday. We're going to wrap this up with Coach McKinney, hopefully.
Hey, Mike.
Coach, thanks for bringing your team over. Obviously, you have a group of classy young people and some great assistant coaches, and I know you love basketball, and I know that you're probably you're where you want to be. I think after you took a leap of faith and you thought maybe there was going to be another road going somewhere else, and you were steered back in the right place, I think.
Yeah, I think what we got going on here is going to be already special and going to be even more special years to come. We're excited. I think you heard it in everybody's comments, in their voice, the coaches. We really feel like what we're doing is good, and we feel like we're on the rise.
I know all your players have been very, just well-spoken young men, and they've all got the idea that we are a unit. No one is above anybody else. And like I was telling Jamal, I've been really impressed with Jamal this year. He's done things I didn't know he would be willing to do.
Right.
And some of the other role players you've got, it's just fun to watch them and some of the things that you're able to, and the kids respond to you. Do you realize how they do that? I mean, first of all, they love you and they respect you, but they respond. You don't throw anything across the floor. You talk to them on a, man-on-man conversation, but they go out and they play their hearts out for you.
Well, I think I was listening in on some of the other kids and the other coaches talking. it's about building the relationship with the individual. Each and every one of these players, our coaching staff has worked very hard to get to know each and every one of these players on a personal level, not just on the court. We know, where they went for Thanksgiving. We know when to pick them up when they've had something happen, some adversity happen off the court, maybe in the home. So we're working hard in those areas, and when we get to know them and build those relationships, we come to love them. And I think the key word that's been mentioned a lot tonight has been family. We feel like a family, and we support each other like a family, and that's something very, very nice to be around.
Well, we've enjoyed all of our games we've covered with you coaching, and we've particularly enjoyed this year, and wish you a lot of success. I know it's not just wins and losses, but you guys are playing some pretty good basketball right now, and I don't see any reason why you won't continue playing good basketball, but your next game is not until the 16th of January, so you've got a long break again.
That's a big game,
and
so everybody needs to come.
So we'll be at the College Park. Is that where the game is going to be?
On Polo
Road, and we'll be broadcasting, I'm sure, that game, and look forward to continued success of the team and of these young men. And we want to thank you I know you brought them over on the bus after practice. I want to say we appreciate that. And this is our final show at Bibbs, and I don't know if you remember, but your school was the guest of the first show we had back in a year and a half ago, and it's really fitting that we chose to have our final show with the Salem Christian School Lions on the program.
We appreciate everything you all have done. We love every opportunity we've had to be a part of a TriadSportsCoverage.com production. We love having you all cover our games, and the kids love the pictures, and the community has just fell in love with what you all are doing, and really appreciate it.
Well, we're having the time of our life doing it, and we're looking forward to it. And I want to mention for any of your parents who are listening from the school that you can still order athletic pictures.
Yes.
We had a photo shoot back in November, and then the holiday season came and disrupted a lot of things. And so if you want to order pictures, please contact either myself or Miranda McKinney, the athletic director, and we'll make sure you get whatever pictures that you desire from the athletic photos that we took in November.
Definitely. I had 3 things before I forget, if you don't mind.
Okay.
One thing, first and foremost, definitely wanted to thank God for the opportunity to come back for Winston-Salem Christian School. He has blessed me beyond recognition with an awesome wife and now a job that's just great to be around her here at the school, and all these kids are doing what I love. Second, these coaches that you talked to, and Coach Tennant stopped by just briefly. I wish he could have been on. These are the best assistant coaches a head coach could ask for. I would put our coaching staff up against anyone, anywhere. If you're a young man listening and you want to get better, you're going to have 4 coaches here that we feel like we really know what we're doing. And then the players, definitely, thanking them for coming on and being a part of this and sharing that with one another. I had something else, but I think I hit the main ones. Definitely thank my wife for allowing me to stay out late and talk a little basketball.
She puts up with a lot, I'm sure.
Yeah. But we're appreciative, and that's the message. And any guys out there, I know there's some guys listening because I've been talking to some people. We've got some new listeners out there that are thinking about Winston-Salem Christian School. And my message to them is go ahead and make the move. Go ahead and start getting better now and make the most of your high school career.
Well, I know they'll certainly be. They won't be making a mistake by going to Winston-Salem Christian from the very top administrator all the way down. It's a class school with the priorities in order, and what you guys do for young people is to be I mean, it's second to none.
Yeah.
It's really great. I'm glad we're a part of it. So we have stretched our hour show to an hour and 35 minutes, but I knew when we got these players going.
What do you expect with us coming around,
Yeah, but we will, as far as our broadcast, we're going to do a college game Saturday at 2 o'clock. Salem College is going to play Agnes Scott, and I believe you're going to try to do some commentary for them.
Yeah. That's the plan.
That's the plan.
We'll see.
And then our next game, we have a game on the 15th with Salem College, and then the 16th, Community Baptist will be broadcasting that game at College Park.
Everybody come and wear your Lions gear, and we'll talk to Coach Kendall, the Dean of Student Life, about maybe doing a whiteout that night.
You need to start having themes at your ball games.
Yeah, I'd like to do a whiteout. We're going to have some new apparel, some new Nike gear coming in that we're expecting to have before that game. So maybe we can throw those whites on and have all the fans wear their white Lions gear as well, and make it a nice atmosphere.
We look forward to it, and and if you're listening out there, have never been to a Winston-Salem Christian basketball game, you won't be disappointed, folks. I mean, it's quality basketball. It's great basketball. And, if you got a young student that is unhappy where they're at school right now for whatever reason, and you need to talk to someone, call Dr. Wolf or someone at Winston-Salem Christian. They have, great opportunities for students and for athletes and for student athletes.
Right.
So it's a great environment. We've enjoyed our time over there. So if you're looking for a home, I think you can find one at Winston-Salem Christian School.
Yep. I agree 100%.
So we're going to have to get off the air here,
Yep.
Mr. McKinney. I appreciate it again, you coming over and spending an evening with us. We will talk later about the weekly show at the school.
Yep, that'll be a lot of fun.
We'll make things happen. So we're going to sign off here if we don't all fall asleep. It's been a long night. And we will be back on the air Saturday for Salem College and Agnes Scott basketball. So for Ellen Richardson and Donnie Baldridge, I got your name right, and Aiden Baldridge. Let's hope he's listening at home. Probably not. He's probably in bed. But we will appreciate you tuning in, and we'll be back on the air Saturday for the basketball game. Thank you for joining us, and adios.
Thanks for listening to this week's edition of Sports Talk on Triad Sports Coverage. For more great podcasts, check out the media page on triadsportscoverage.com.